Hey y'all, welcome to Get Into the Root with Tracy Palmer podcast, where we discuss topics and issues that will help you become the best version of who you are. Our goal is to give you encouragement and information that will help you execute your God given vision. We are so excited you tuned in and hope you enjoy the show. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. We are so excited to be here with you again for another episode of Entrepreneur Talk. This is amazing. We are on episode 7. Woohoo! Woohoo. So I am so excited. You know what, as I always say, we got another hot one. And why do I say that? Because we have a special guest with us today. Today we have Charlotte Brown, who is going to be with me talk about some great things. Now, just to remind you all, we are still in our From Author Authority series. Okay. So that means everything that we're talking about has to do with empowering the author. Okay. So right now, or just to give you an update on what we're going to talk about today, we're going to discuss the importance of promotional products and authors support programs because we keep taking it up a notch. We started off talking about self-publishing, and then we talked about the editing process. Now it's time for you to really get out there and market what you have, and we the tools and the resources to do so. So you know me, I could keep on and on and talk and talk and talk, but now I want to go ahead and get the discussion going with my special guest. So, hey Charlotte, how are you today?
Doing wonderful. Thank you for inviting me. This is
Oh,
fantastic.
I am so excited that you can be with us. I am super, super, super duper excited. So, to let you all know that Charlotte is an award-winning author, she's an activist, and she's also a promotional product distributor. But you know what? We like to get to know a little bit more about our guests. So, Charlotte, tell us a little bit more about yourself. You don't have to get too deep. I want you to get nervous and get scared, but tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I know a lot of people know me. I'm not well at speaking, and I'm learning to to do this more and more. But it's been fun. So here goes. Well, I started like around about 2005. I'm say I've been in business since 1998. But in 2005, I would say I got really in depth with the literary world. So uh, I was very fascinated with authors. I had a little bookstore in downtown Dayton, Ohio. It's my hometown.
Okay.
And I ran into a plethora of authors. So I wanted to find a way how I can meet them because I was already selling books.
Mhm.
So I started attending workshops and conferences and whatnot, and just started networking and started brainstorming. So I wanted to get a couple of the authors that I met contact information, and we put together some ideas.
Mhm.
So one, I would do local author appearances in my store, or either on site or off site, and then little I knew it was a setup for me because God had told me that I was going to become a writer at 16. And I kind of, shunned away from it. And
Mhm.
I said, no, not me. I hate English. And
Listen.
so, I figured you had to be this fantastic uh, English major or something to become an author.
Mhm.
And I didn't think that was going to fit well with me,
Mm.
but God had a plan. So
Yes.
I was working with these authors, and I think the best way to learn a product or a business is kind of shadow. And I did that with authors. I shadowed them, just kind of study what they were doing. And again, I was just so fascinated. And one of these conferences I went to, um, again, I heard God speak. It was my turn, and it was time to write
Mm.
my story. So
Mm.
I'm still, as of yet, working on this novel, but I'm a survivor of domestic violence and sexual assault, and so I'm telling my story through my writing. And I began my journey um, as a writer with this novel, and then of course helping other authors.
Mhm.
So while I'm helping them, I began building my own business, and so it's been fun. And the the publishing part has been it's a struggle, but if you take your time to learn how to write your book and listen, the conferences that I attend to was very helpful. And as I saw what was going on in these conferences, I got a lot of creativity,
Mhm.
and I knew I can do something. I was like, "Oh, I know they book and pop, but I know if I can make a tote bag." Because one of the things in my gift shop, made things. I made T-shirts. I made all kinds of stuff. So I said, "Well, I can incorporate this to help authors," and it was working well. And one of my big telltale signs was the like I said, I was working with authors, and I landed a big job with a celebrity by the name of Victoria Rao. Many people know her as Drusilla on Young and the Restless.
Mm.
And so that was a telltale sign that I was onto something, because this lady loved my concept. She was on a book tour with her book. It was called The Women Who Raised Me.
Mm.
And so I thought, I said, "Ooh, it would look nice on a book bag," and I did that for her. And here we are, several years later, because of her. I thought I can help other authors, because end up selling this lady 2,000 units of tote bags to help her with her book tour, and it went over well. It was a success, and I said, "Hey, I can help other authors." So here I am, several years later, doing this for others as well as myself. So, you know.
Awesome, awesome. What is funny is that when you begin to tell your story about how you did got into your own writing journey,
Mhm,
that's very similar to myself because I'm like, oh, I have ran away from trying to write a book
mhm,
for like almost 10 years. So, but it's like along the way, I had always been writing stuff. I'm a speaker, so I have always, speak like mainly in church, but
mhm,
I would speak. So that means I'm always writing my messages, taking notes
mhm,
and jotting them. And so then I would just get things, inspiration, things, just write them. But I was thinking, man, I don't even like writing like that. I can't do it. So I just thought that was really funny. I was the same way, and then here I am, an author as well,
Yeah.
doing the same thing. Because when God has a plan, He has a plan, and ain't nothing you can do about it. When He says, "This is what I want for your life," this is what I want for your life. And so, all we got to do is just say, "Okay, Lord, Your will, not mine," and He'll show you, like you said. Then
Mhm,
you just get that boom, and
mhm.
you get those what I call those moments that show you that, okay, I know I am on the right path. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of just share my story there. What I forgot to do, this is funny. I'm always thinking that people just know me. I'm just like, I just get on here, I just start talking. Like everybody who get on here know me. Just to kind of back up a little bit, just let everyone know that in case I didn't say, you don't see, my name is Tracy Palmer. I am a transformational life and business coach. I am an author. I am a speaker and a podcaster. So just in case, I don't want to sit here and not let anybody know who's this woman and it's on my screen. So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. So welcome to any guests, any viewers, and listeners right now. If you have any questions, if you just want to do a shout out to our special guest, let me know, and we will definitely, acknowledge you and acknowledge that you are listening and watching. Okay, so let's get into this topic, Charlotte. Let's really get into it. One of the things that I was very impressed about you when we met was that besides some of the things you're going to talk about later with your book and something else that you got as well. Um, I started to know that, or you began to reveal that you had, like you just mentioned, the promotional products. And
Mhm,
I'm like, wow, authors really see, we think about those things when it comes to just other businesses. You know what I mean? That is
Mhm.
easy to think about promotional products with other businesses, but we tend to just neglect ourselves as authors. We
Mhm.
just abandon it. We don't think that promotional products are important, or we don't, it's not in the forefront. So if you could just kind of talk a little bit about how important or what kind of results that you have seen when people not only have their, I call it literary masterpiece, but when
Mhm.
they couple it with a promotional product, what kind of results do you see that people get from that?
Well, one thing I like to do packages. I like to offer packages. I like to give readers bang for their buck because say like I would use again Victoria Rao. In her case, she's a celebrity,
Hmm.
and I took I took that moment to help her through that because she didn't even think herself about a tote bag,
Hmm.
and I offered the concept to her and she loved it. And not only that, I remember before she got her second unit of 1,000 bags, she asked me, she said, can I raise this price? Because and I said, absolutely, if you want to. I said, matter of fact, if you just sign your name on the tote bag, um, that brings more value because people know you as a celebrity, and your signature on that it would extremely help.
Hmm.
And it didn't slow down our sales. So she used her platform to sell those tote bags. And it's not like that in every case. I mean, I'm not a big time celebrity, so I have to be a little more creative
Hmm.
than Victoria Rao. So, I offer things that I would think people would want. A book bag is one easy concept. A bookmark, people love bookmarks that to hold their place in a book. And that bookmark is a great tool to use because it has your contact information, a little bit more about your book, and this and that and the third. Especially if you have more books that you got coming out, maybe a series, and it's the easy way for them, another way for them to find you.
Hmm.
Ink pens, people love to feel ink
Hmm.
pens in their hand, and that's another way, to have your name on it, your business name, your book on an ink pen. Uh let's say t-shirts, t-shirts. People can become a walking billboard. People wear t-shirts all the time, and if it's nicely designed, of course they would buy it. You would think, well, will they buy something with my name on it? Yes, they would. I mean,
Hmm.
uh, they would if it's nicely done. Anything to support you, that it could happen. And I say use that as an opportunity, and I bundle those things to kind of like, hey, you get a book, a pen, and or even a companion journal. I talk a little bit about with authors about if you have an opportunity to provide a companion journal.
Hmm.
Authors like myself, a coloring book or activity book to go along with your children's book, or as I did, a game board. We'll talk later about that. So yeah, it's a really great enhancement to your book and to offer more bang for your buck is what I would say.
Awesome, awesome. I think that is amazing. I really do. I think that is so important. You did mention a few products. Are there any kind of products that somebody might not think about that you have actually done that could couple up with a book, or just in general, like something promotional that's off the wall that somebody, but it really works to get the attention? Like, I don't know, because you said pens. Yeah, bookmarks. But have there been any type of other things that maybe somebody wouldn't think about that would be a good promotional product?
Well, for me, I did a game board. So I really went out there. I did a
Hmm.
game board that you rarely see that goes with the book. People have done it, yes, but it's not like something major that you would go to. You really, I think, study what you have and find out what would be great to go with it.
Hmm.
I mean, be creative. It could be, oh my gosh. I'll say, if you I'll even say if you have a book on cars, if you wrote
Mhm.
a book about cars, you can really I mean if a person like magazines, or you can even team up with a magazine company and see if they would be willing to work with you on packaging your I think it's one called Muscle Mag. It's a muscle
Wow.
car.
Mhm.
Some that's kind of like going beyond, and also it's like a cross promotion.
Mhm.
So it's worth a shot. Things like that, you really think further than, like you say, a ink pen or a bookmark, because
Mhm.
like you say, it's everybody is doing that. That's the first couple of things they go to after they
Mhm.
publish their book. Oh, I need a ink pen, I need a bookmark. I even seen business cards
Mhm.
light up, or I've seen them
Mhm.
clear. You can be creative with your business card. I've seen talking bill business cards.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
yeah, it talks to you. I've seen it
Okay.
all kinds of,
That might kind
so
of
you
freak me
press
out
this
a little
little
bit. I'm like,
I mean,
wait a
you
minute.
press this button, and tell everything about you on the card, instead of, it's just all kinds of stuff that you can just get out there. And I could help, once I know with you what you are writing about. I go to work, try to find some unique things. One of my other authors, well, it's not really a unique thing, but we did fans.
Mhm.
It was her book is related around her grandmother. She was a church mother,
Mhm.
and so we did fans instead
Mhm.
of business cards. We did fans, hand fans, for
That's
her.
perfect. Yes. That's perfect. And going back, you said something about cars. The first thing that came to my mind is maybe a keychain that's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
design of a car,
yeah, yeah.
or a key,
Yeah.
because you relate a car to, keys.
Mhm,
I say this: you got to be creative in
mhm,
order to get yourself out there. Now, I say this as a coach, period. No matter if you're an author, if you sell products, it's all about being creative to stand out.
mhm,
It's important to stand out. So I thought, oh, that's great. So basically, it sounds like that one of the key ingredients to this would be figure out, especially since we're talking to authors, figure out what is the main message of your book so
mhm,
that your products can maybe,
mhm,
connect to that
mhm,
main message. Would you agree that that would be so? That's to bring up the uniqueness. Yeah, I don't think that is wrong, of course, with the bookmark. Of course, that's still great. In a pen, I think
mhm,
those are always going to be those standards that always stick around. And of course, everybody likes a good old t-shirt.
mhm,
But when it comes to what else connect directly, like very specific, like specifically to the
mhm,
message of my book,
mhm.
then that's where, so would you agree that that would be really important?
Yes, and another couple of things that also come to mind. I did with another author. Um, we also reached out to artists, because artists and authors they run almost on the same lines. And
Mm-hmm.
so I reached out with a well-renowned artist, and I had this author had his book cover designed by this author. And what he did had paid a extensive amount of money. Again, you have to have the bucks for it, or you can even reach out to a local author and cross promote a striving artist,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys work together to promote her or him. But this guy is a well renowned, I think Clay Brooks. Was it Clay Brooks? I can't think of his name right now, but he's a well known artist. So what he did, he paid him a certain amount of money to release the print to him, so that he had rights to it. And we
Mm-hmm.
made actually official print. So we took the name off the book, we took all the other stuff. It just became the print. And so he sold that along with his book.
Mm-hmm.
So readers had a copy of the print, and they had a copy of his book. And then he can do all kinds of stuff, from t-shirts or whatever, with this artist, because the artist is very famous. So that was another pull for him. And then let's see, what's another? Oh, chewing gum. The
Oh,
chiclets. Remember the chiclet? The chewing
yeah.
gum. Well,
Uh-huh.
I have a company that I use, that you can use chiclet gum to put your book cover on it because it's square, and then you pull out, you got all the your little pieces of gum. But
Yeah.
on top of it, you can put your book cover, and people, instead of using a business card, you can use the chiclet gum
I
packs.
love that. That
Mhm,
is awesome. I love that because oh my god, you don't see
mhm,
that. That's
mhm,
you're saying stuff I don't see. All I
mhm,
see is what somebody's book sitting in front of them,
mhm,
maybe a t-shirt if
mhm,
we're lucky, and that's it. We don't get to see all these wonderful other things that will continue to remind the reader or the person that may be interested because maybe at that time they may not be ready to purchase your book,
mhm,
but they grab one of your promotional products and
mhm,
now
mhm,
that's like, oh, you know what? I
mhm,
got this pen, and let me go back and purchase that book. It reminds them, or I'm chewing this gum, and
mhm,
now I'm like, what? That's right.
mhm.
I said I wanted this book, so I think, oh, you got me all hyped. Now I'm thinking about all kind of stuff I'm gonna have you do. I got all kind of stuff, girl. We got all kind of stuff we need to work on for promotional products. I know that you also, like you said, you work with authors. And I guess I'm gonna ask you this question that I've asked other guests before. What have you seen that has been like the biggest struggle with the artist? Want to say artist, but the author. The biggest struggle that you've seen with anybody that you've worked with, just in general.
Um, the biggest struggle is, as you know, editing. Um, Financing your book. They have a lack of funds, and they believe that they can't get their books published, and they see all this stuff that they got to do. Well, and when I come across that, and they they don't really know that you can do it in layers. You don't have
Mhm,
to, and better yet, you can self-publish, as you and I know, instead
mhm,
of trying to go after a big, uh, a major publisher. And so I think, the big issue that I see is financing.
mhm.
um, and they, it prohibits them from, going further, because again,
Right,
they think they just don't have the money,
right, right. So,
or they have to have a lot of money. So.
right. So gonna kind of lead into the next part, and we're
Mhm,
gonna touch on it. Then we're gonna do a commercial, and then we'll come back and continue. But I want to kind of ease into the next part of since you have I've been following you, and I've noticed that you connected up with some great things along the way that not only can help businesses, but they also authors. And can you talk a little bit about some opportunities or some things or some organizations that are out here that maybe are giving people opportunities to get either grants or even funding of some sort that will help further them along?
Well, one of the major go-to, I will always say, and also is definitely a big issue with authors, is that they do not, many of them do not recognize it's a business.
Mm,
And so we forget, we jump straight into getting the book done, but we don't know how to set up a bank account for our business. We don't know all the key essentials to keep your book successful and out there. And so um, we need to connect with our local SBA. I would say that's a major go-to. Any business conference. I mean, you can cater it to, that I always try to go to the free ones
mhm,
because, again, we're working on a budget, and
mhm, mhm.
many authors don't have a lot of money to start up. So
Right.
try reaching out to your local SBA. They do help you. You let them know, score, help you. They're not going to get in depth about your book, but at least the basics about setting up your LLC, getting your tax ID, stuff like that. Workshops, there are, Facebook now. You can just Google author workshop, author conferences, and just kind of pick from there, engage if it's for you.
Mhm.
Make sure they're reputable. If you do, wing it, but SBA. Now I connected with Source River Rest here in Indianapolis, which is an excellent program. There was an indie pop-up school, but these gentlemen were from England, so it was only a 2 week, and we're hoping they come back.
Mhm.
They have they're working on going to different cities. You may want to look them. It's called pop-up school.
Okay.
So any business class that or conference, marketing or promotion. I mean, even if it's a marketing company that's doing something in your local area and you got time to go, I mean, always see how they're promoting themselves and see if it can work for you. I did a lot of that when I started my own business. If I had time, I just went to random workshops.
Mhm.
So I would say Source River Rest. I did Indiana Black Expo is starting a program. There's a place called Inner Power. I believe they're doing some things with businesses.
Mhm.
Um, um, there's a Path to Publishing is another for authors directly.
Mhm.
Uh, Joylyn, Ian Joy, I get her name because she, I know I've known her for so many years, but Joylyn Ross has a program called Path to Publishing, and she is a phenomenal guru on
Mhm.
publishing and getting you directed to the right people and connecting you to the right people
Mhm.
to help you with your book process.
Okay, okay. I do have a couple more questions, but what I want to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and take a commercial break, and then we will get right back to this conversation. Calling all entrepreneurs. We are currently looking for authors and creatives to feature on upcoming episodes of the Getting to the Root Entrepreneur Talk podcast and live stream. You will do a pre recorded interview that will be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, as well as be heard on various podcast stations. You will also have the opportunity to be seen around the world on our smart TV channel. If you are interested, please go to gttrwithtracypalmer.com and hit the podcast button to sign up. Have you received your copy of Dangerously in Love yet? If not, what are you doing with your life? Dangerously in Love is a quick but powerful read about identifying unhealthy relationships and circumstances that are interrupting, interfering, or hindering God's plans for your life. The purpose of this book is to help someone avoid dangerous pitfalls or distractions which could ultimately destroy their lives and the lives of those around them. I am confident that this will be a blessing to all that read it. If you are interested, please go to my website, GTTR with Tracy Palmer, and purchase your copy today. Don't forget to subscribe to our weekly newsletter. By doing so, you will stay updated on upcoming events, receive inspirational messages, and so much more. Okay, all right, all right. Let's go ahead and get right to this conversation.
Mhm,
So, what I do know that you have participated in a couple of things that were called like pitches, if I'm not
mhm,
mistaken. And that's something that when I seen that and I watched kind of the process of, what you guys, now I know I didn't see the behind the scenes process, but what was presented up front from both of the organizations, I thought amazing because that's something that I don't think that we really know that's available to us, especially in our culture. I
mhm,
think for other cultures, if I will say it like that, we forget that there are that are available. just do the research. Can you tell me? So basically, some people are like, oh, there's no money out there. Only certain people get money, or oh, there's no opportunities. Can you just go ahead and let people know? No, that's false. That's not true, and tell them your testimony, because you have been a recipient of those things.
Well, one, I because I'm really strong on domestic violence and sexual assault, so I've reached out to organizations that covers those subjects.
Mm,
And one of the courses that I took, it is I received a, certification of child advocacy, because they're real big on um, promoting the importance of children's education. So I felt qualified for that program because my book is for educating children on body safety. So
mm,
it goes hand in hand. Because children have to go to school, they're interacting with strangers, even on a daily basis. So they need to know, if they're being violated, and so these programs that I connected with, they have some of them have funding and some don't. Now the pitch contest covers it, as you say, I'm learning more how to be a speaker, and I'm not so great at it still, but
you're fine.
I'm not gonna let it hinder me. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna just keep getting out there and getting out there, and that's key. You got to keep going. You may feel embarrassed here or there, but keep going. You have a message inside of you that needs to get out. So
Yes.
these programs help you with that, and I was so thankful that they did that. They encouraged me to, because I have a voice, and you use your book because as a message, as a tool, if you can. And again, these pitch contests teach you how to talk about your book. If you elevator pitches, if you're talking to someone, you may only have a few seconds to talk about your book. What would you say to them about your book or your product?
Mhm,
You have, and they coach us on those things.
mm,
And then along with proper business etiquette, as I would call, how to properly set up your business. And authors, again, we have a business, so we need
yes.
to learn how to set up our LLCs or our tax ID numbers, our business accounts in general. And I think those need to be in place before we even start selling a book, because
Mhm,
you don't want people to know, for example, your home address.
right.
You don't want people to have your personal number, and I see it all the time. People will just put their personal number, their business address, home address. We have Google numbers. We
Yes.
have post office boxes that those are in place. You are a celebrity too.
Come
Um,
on.
yeah, you're a
Yes.
celebrity too, so you got
That's
to treat
right.
yourself as such, and protect yourself.
I love it.
So these classes kind of gear you in the right direction, to help you in the pitch contest. Like I say, the one I went to it was grant funded. Source River West, I did win a grant, and so all of them are not costly to get in, but this particular one I had to take the course for 10 weeks, just to learn, to polish up, because I needed to polish up my business. I helped people so much that my business was suffering, my website, my a lot of stuff was, so I had to find time, and last year was the beginning phase of that. I had to start learning how I'm not learning how, I had to go back and polish tremendously, because I'm out here before people. I even been all the way to Vegas and do speaking engagements to help authors. So it's like, man, I need to get my stuff together too. So it's good to take the time for you to your business, especially something you love to do. Take the time to learn it and polish it, and so that you can be successful with it. So that's what I did, and in the end of this particular course, all you learned, they give you what I think it was 5 minutes to talk to a group of investors, potential, not well, that will fund, that will, love your product. So you talk to them and you tell them about your product. You have been trained for 10 weeks. Sometimes, depending on the course, it may be only 2 weeks that you got trained before you do the pitch contest. It may be 5 days. It depends on which one you went to. But you have this 5 minute spiel to talk to uh, these judges about your business. And, like they say, be genuine, no fluff. You be genuine, and if you're passionate about it, they will see it.
Yeah,
And I believe they saw it because, like I say, one is my situation. It hits home, and
absolutely.
I wanted to help other victims and survivors. So they heard me, and it was a blessing that we were one of the recipients.
And then you just did the most recent one that really gave you a real grant,
Yeah,
a
a big one.
bigger,
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
one. So did you want to touch on that one a little bit too? So because you said did you have to invest in both programs in order to get the grant for both of them?
No, actually, now the one, I didn't win the one I got the grant for, but they loved all of our pitches, so they gave us a little money. I think it was like $250.
Mhm.
I didn't get the grand prize, but
Right.
it was okay. It was a beautiful experience, and I would do it again.
Mhm.
Um, and but that one I had to pay. I would have had to pay, but I got a grant. The
Mhm.
second one I did not have to pay. That was through Indiana Black Expo.
Mhm.
And so that was only actually 3 days, I believe, 3 days. Uh, they held it three different times, different workshops that you attend to. And then they had two categories for the pitch contest in the end. And they had a beautiful team of sponsors and local businesses that helped you shape your pitch.
Mm.
And so my partner and I, we kind of, because my friend Stephanie, she does stage plays,
Mhm.
so she does a lot with video, so I didn't really need that part, but they were there to help you shape the pitch for
Mhm.
the actual day, and that was wonderful that they did that. So it was like I believe it was 15 or 20 of us,
Mhm.
and it boiled down to five winners. Well, four winners. There was
Mhm.
two divisions. One was, and which was the overall grand prize of $5,000,
Mhm.
and then the second division. I think those were more seasoned. That was geared towards more seasoned businesses. I really kind of like what they did with that. They didn't just put everybody in one, but
Yeah.
so there's like these businesses are more seasons, they've been out there, so that category they judged you, and you got
Mhm.
like $5,000 for a top prize. It was only one prize.
Mhm.
Then the one division I was in was more people who have been in business, but still shaping it and growing and
Mhm.
whatnot. So we end up winning first prize.
Yay! Woohoo!
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. See, it was oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, what was the amazing thing was they were they loved the fact that we were introducing something that was needed, that be a good listener of what's going on in your community. If you want to write, and if you have the capability to, if you want to write about something, write what's going on. If you could do that, and that's what we did, because it was personal to me, and I know what's going on out there, and there are people that's out there that's looking for resources, and wanting to team up with people to get the message out there to help individuals. So I believe I found that audience. They really felt like, most every time they see the product, it's needed. This is what's needed, and
Mhm.
that's also a telltale sign that you're on the right path. When you're doing something, you're not, just developing anything.
Mhm.
Follow what God has given you. As I said,
Mhm.
I'm a true believer in God, and so I listen to what He wants me to do, and I
Mhm.
did that, and that was also key. You can't fail. when you listen to what God has told you to do.
Come on. All right. Ain't that it?
Yeah.
I mean, for real, for real. That's like truth on top of truth on top of truth right there. You cannot fail when you do what God has called you to do. You can't. You cannot because he gave it to you. That means he already has a plan for your success. Point blank. That's what
Yeah.
we have to remember. If he gives it to you, there's already a plan made. It's already everything you need is already there and available. You just have to know how to access it. And
Mhm.
that's why I love about this conversation we're having. You're talking about things that people don't know that they can access, that
Mhm.
people don't know or may not know. I'll say it that way. That's available. Now,
Yeah.
I'm I'm telling you, just following you, I got hip onto a lot of things. I'm like, oh, I didn't know about that. That's here locally. What?
Mhm.
And so, and that's amazing. Of course, I'm familiar with the Indiana Black Expo, but I didn't know what other things that they had in the works or developing. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm thankful that I am connected with you because you were able to just share something. Now, people got something in their mind now to say, oh, I need to be on the lookout for these things now. And I love how you encourage authors over and over again by saying, you have a business.
Mhm.
You have a business. Treat it like a business. Don't
Yes.
just treat it like, oh, I just put something out there. I just wrote something in. Oh, well, whatever, whatever. And it's funny. That's been our theme these last couple of sessions or podcasts we've been doing. Every guest has said the same thing. This is your business. Treat
Mhm.
it like a business. And that is the message. If I mean, even though we're giving nuggets, the
Yeah.
main message is this is your business. If
Mhm.
you're serious, now if you're just writing to be writing and you don't want no money from it, then okay, hey, don't listen to this podcast. don't
That's
don't
right.
tune in because we're about trying to get you to understand how to go to the next level and how to monetize, how to get grants, how to better yourself.
Mhm.
When you said that, I could relate again. You just talking all in my Kool-Aid now because letting my own self, helping everybody else, getting everybody else to the next level, making sure everybody else is good while my own business in itself wasn't where it needed to be. And so I'm at that place in my life where now I'm like, yes, I may still help people, but I'm first making sure I'm solid, making
That's
sure
right.
I'm real good so that I can be a better help to
Mhm.
others. So
Mhm.
this has been good. This has been fun. I'm loving all this. Now, what I want to do before we end is I need you to talk about what you got going on, girl. What is Charlotte Brown got her hands in right now? And I know you got some stuff brewing and cooking. So talk to the people about what it is that you have that they can take advantage of. And if you have any promotions or specials or of service you would like to offer as well.
Yes, absolutely. So what I did was, as we talk about branding and help marketing and promoting, as you know, I came up with a book called it's a children's book called My Body's My Body. I Have Rules. It's available on Amazon, but please try to get it from me because I get more money from it. Uh, Amazon, if you got to go to Amazon, that's fine. But as an author, it helps if you purchase directly from the author. And many of us will say agree to that. But anyway, so I created this book to help teach body safety for children. It has all different topics about good touch versus bad touch, taking candy from a stranger, just words of affirmation to teach children body safety boundaries. And so I became very creative because I'm like, okay, I would like to get this into schools. I want parents to have an open and friendly conversation because it's a sensitive subject.
Mhm.
So I created also a game board, which I'm happy that we got in about a week ago. Our first shipment of game boards, and it's beautifully packaged. Every item in here, by the way, is packaged down to the game board is wrapped. The game pieces are wrapped. it's just very nice. And so I added this to go with the book as now you have the book and then you have a game to kind of help talk about the topic. We even have a musical CD uh
Fun.
on
Okay.
iTunes that you can sing along or whatever that you want to you know make it fun to just talk about body safety. And then
Mhm.
we also are creating uh, uh, um, oh gosh,
It's all
a a stage play. We
right.
got a stage play that someone has expressed an interest in, and then also a video commercial about body safety. So as you can see, what I did was I reached out to organization that express the interest in body sexual assault or domestic violence, and let them know that we I'm an author and I have these products. Schools, child, I reached out to child care centers, even churches, of
Mhm.
course, parents. And we've been testing this for about a year and it's well received. Like, again, we won an award in a pitch contest pitching this concept about our products. And even there's a curriculum on Amazon that we're part of to develop uh, a full package for schools. So we're
Mhm.
very interested in talking with local school teachers and organizations to possibly get a packet from us because we need to get it out here. There are an enormous amount of children that are being abducted,
Mhm.
that's going on by the second.
Mhm.
And we need to equip our children about the importance of body safety. And
Yes.
parents need to step up and help, because our children, a lot of them, especially toddlers, and they'll wander off in a grocery store in a heartbeat and
Mhm.
things like that. And we're not teaching them at home, that you can't just run off. There's stuff
You're
going on
right.
out here. So, um, we need to, I don't care how many times you got to play this game with your kid, how many times you got to read it, get it in their system that,
Yes.
it's not okay for a stranger to touch you or grab you in inappropriate places, and or even take you somewhere, and especially if it's a stranger, you don't, those things, this curriculum we built help, and we encourage educators and parents to just reach out to us and even help us how, if we need to do more with it, talk to us and help us shape it more to get it out here. So
Wow.
we're we're ready to get it on the road.
Mhm. Mhm. And the crazy beautiful thing about it, it's started from a book.
Yeah, a
It
book.
started from a book. And that's the message that we want to get out to the authors. It
Hmm.
can start from a book.
Hmm.
It can start from, I take that back. The book is after the experience. It starts from an experience.
Hmm.
It starts from a cause. It starts from something that you then decide to write about. Like you said earlier, you have something to say. The
Hmm.
world needs to hear it. Don't sit on your gift. Don't muzzle your mouth or muzzle
Yeah.
or bind your hands if you want to say it like that. You have something that the world needs. And listening to the progression of what has happened with
Hmm.
you, starting with your life experiences and then seeing others going through the same or have gone through or children going through the same type of experiences caused you to birth a book. And
Yes.
now this book has become
Yes.
so much more. A board game? Who's
Yes.
doing board games, girl? Now, who is doing board games? I've never heard of anybody doing a board game from a book that teaches a subject so sensitive. So I congratulate and applaud you and all those that are on your team that have come alongside you. I applaud you all
Thank
because I
you.
think it is simply amazing. Beautiful work. Beautifully.
Yes, and we made it colorful because, one thing as authors, especially children authors, one key thing is that make your design very colorful. I was so thrilled to see children reach to grab for the book or grab for the board game and say, "This is pretty." The colors, I heard it from the children's mouth, and I was like, "Thank you." I'm, that was well received as well, because and you're taught these things. It's like, okay, colors matter. Yeah, make them vibrant,
Yes.
so that it grabs the children's attention. And I did that, and I mean, it was always, every time we put it out, they were grabbing, they start playing with it. And this game is very helpful
Mhm.
to me, and it's very important, because if stuff like this was taught when I was a child, I probably would be in a much better state of mind, mentally and emotionally and physically. And so we want to help our children avoid those pitfalls. If we teach them now at a young
Yes.
age,
Yes.
that they would not go through bad experiences with men, if
Mhm.
we just teach them at an early age. And it's no guarantee that we won't fall for the wrong guy,
Right.
or get in a be caught in a bad family, but at
Mhm.
least we can equip them the best we know how, so that
Yes.
we can help avoid our children, the pitfalls of
Right.
abuse. So this
Right.
is what this is about.
And I like it's like the scripture that comes to me, that Romans 8 was, I believe it's 8:28, that all things work together. So even though that this may have been an experience that you had to go through, it
Hmm.
worked together for good.
Hmm.
We always say the bad, the good, the beautiful, the ugly. God
Hmm.
has a way of making it all work together. And even
Hmm.
though it might be an experience that you're like, man, I wish I didn't have it, but on the other end, you're like, I'm glad I had it so that
Hmm.
I could help. Because sometimes,
Hmm.
unless we go through a valley,
Hmm.
sometimes unless we really experience something ourselves, we can't feel or relate to really get the message across. And I believe that's why the message is able to be put out there the way it has been, because you are so close to it. So again, that's why that's an encouragement to say, no, nobody wants to go through those things. But when we have experiences that we just don't want to go through, we better use them. We better use the God's glory and make something and make it better for somebody else. And
Yes.
then, and I believe there's healing in that. I believe
Yes.
that as we go through it and have dealt with it ourselves, we get healing as we help others. And that's a word that I want to put out there to people, with writing, with being an author. It could be we're going to talk about this in some upcoming sessions I have with other special guests, but it's not always going to be area of nonfiction. Sometimes our voices are heard better through fiction. And that's
Hmm.
an area that I've been scared to go into, but that's how the Lord is pushing me to go into fiction, to begin to tell stories of my life that I can't tell nonfiction. I just can't. I
Hmm.
got to go the nonfiction routes. I got to get down and dirty with it. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes that's one of the best ways that people can really relate. So it's all about your experiences, and not letting them destroy you, but let them teach you and then heal you so you can help the next generation. So I'm
Yes.
just excited for all of this. Now, do you have any specials or anything that you would like to offer anybody? Because we want you to get some coins, girl. We not only want people to buy books, we want them to get some of your services as well. So we got a few minutes here. So tell us about what do you have to offer to people. And let you know, audience, those who are watching and listening, her information is on the screen. So the way to reach her is right on the screen. You can reach her through Facebook at 31. It's called 31 Woman LLC. She has a website which is www.31womanllc or 31llc.com, and her phone number as well, which is area code 176430769. So go ahead, if you can just take a minute, talk about some promotions that you may have right now.
Yes, absolutely. On the website, again, we're still structuring everything, so please bear with me and forgive us. But we do enormous amount of things to help shape a business with our promotional products. So if you go on the site to 31womanllc.com, click on, I think it's promotional items for authors. Just give you an idea, there are some specials going across the banner. If you don't see it, hit me up in a chat. You can also email me at info at 31womanllc.com for the game piece that's under our MeTooChronicles.org site. I forgot to give that to Miss Tracy,
That's
but
okay.
it's MeTooChronicles.org, and it's under our children's line to find out more information about that. But if you're an author that's seeking promotional ideas, and we would love to help you. I would love to sit down and find some unique things for your book. I'm a real good listener. I do graphic design work, so that if you need artwork done, logos done for your book, we can assist you with that. If I can't help you, I'll find somebody that can. So
Awesome.
info at 31womanllc.com, or you can private message me if you have any additional questions.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, you guys can reach me as well. If for some reason you forgot all that, you can reach me, and I will definitely make sure that we connect you right with her. I am so happy that you have been with us. I am so excited. I'm excited for everything that has that you all the things that you're walking into, all the
Thank
beautiful
you.
things you're stepping into. I believe that God's got some amazing things for you, and I'm glad for our connection. And so we're going to go ahead and end this episode. It's been amazing. And what I want to do is like, thank you, thank you, thank you for being with us. And thank you to my audience, my listening audience, my viewing audience. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for those who have been chatting and saying little things. We got some I love it. We got some, things holler outs like that. So we getting some love on here. So I
Thank
thank you
you.
all. Thank you all. So what I like to always close with is this one saying. I try to say this as I remember it is there is only one you. So why not become the best version of who you are?
Okay.
Now is the time to live the life that God has intended for you to live. Don't delay. Now is the time. As we say, life is too short because you never know when your last day will be. So while you have breath in your body, go ahead and live your best. Live your God intended life. Do everything that He's called you to do. Don't hold nothing back. It's time to get out there and be the best at everything that you've been called to do. So until next time, we will see you later. Take care and be blessed. Bye now. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode of Getting to the Root with Tracy Palmer. If so, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel in order to be notified when a new episode is posted. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or go to my website at gttrwithtracypalmer.com. Until next time, take care and be blessed.